team that probably benefited the most out of these trades is probably the Kings, because they got a steal with the draft rights to Bogdan. It's just unfortunate they were unable to retain his services, and he moved over to the Hawks and paired up with DeAndre Hunter and Trae Young to get us up out of there. Hey, what's going on? This is Sports Vibes TV. I'm your host, Keith, and in this video, we're going to be looking at an article from Mark Berman. Now, in this article, Mark Berman is pretty much giving us some insight into the Knicks' plans in this upcoming NBA draft. Now, after I look at that article with you guys, I'm going to look at some previous trades because I want to see if the Knicks could possibly move into the top 10. And if we can, what is it going to cost? And I just want to hear from you guys. Do you think it's something the Knicks should consider? Or after I show you what these trades are, should the Knicks just stand pat and either select that 19 or 21? So let's jump right into Mark Berman's article and see what he has to say. So it says, the Knicks are excused from the lottery for a change, but that doesn't mean they can't move up in lottery position on draft night in late July. They have 2 first-round picks, 19 and 21, and we also have 2 second-round picks, 32 and 58. Chief strategist Brock Aller will look to deal picks and money to move into the lottery, according to sources. Coach Thibodeau doesn't want too many prospects on his roster. Of course, even prospects that aren't rookies, he's really not giving many minutes to. Kevin Knox got virtually no minutes this season. Frank Nitti really got no minutes this season. So I really can't envision the Knicks heading into training camp with 4 new rookies trying to integrate into this team, because we still have to get Luka Vildoza into the swing of things to get him acclimated with the team. So it's really not something that I see the Knicks doing, going out and bringing in 4 rookies. Also, the Knicks are one of the few teams who have some cap space on draft night to make a trade smoother. So this is something coming into the offseason I pretty much thought the Knicks were going to do. We have to package picks and move up, because Tom Thibodeau is just not going to play this amount of young guys. He's not going to play 4 rookies, and then he's going to also give an expanded role to Obi and also IQ in year 2. I don't see that happening. So I want to show you guys some trades that happened within the last 4 or 5 years where teams were trying to move up in the draft, and just to see what it'll cost. So in 2016, the Phoenix Suns and the Sacramento Kings, they made a trade, and the Suns moved up to number 8 in order to select Marquise Chris, and the Kings received number 13 and number 28, and also the draft rights to the Knick killer Bogdan Bogdanovic. I won't call him a Knick killer. He had a pretty couple good games in the playoff series against us. So as you can see in this trade, it cost about an extra first and Bogdan to move up 5 spots. So the Knicks, if we're gonna try to get into the top 10, you're looking at a 9 spot jump. So you're gonna expect the Knicks to have to give up more than what we're seeing in this trade. Now, if we move over to 2019, there were 2 trades that went down during this draft in which teams moved up. As you can see, the Hawks and the Pelicans, they had a trade. The Hawks moved up to number 4 to get DeAndre Hunter, another player that kind of, I won't say he was a Knick killer again, but he was instrumental in their win. He was pretty much guarding, 2 through 4 out there. So the Hawks moved up to number 4 in order to get Hunter. And they also received number 57 in that draft, Solomon Hill, and a conditional 23 second round pick. Now the Pelicans, for allowing the Hawks to move up, they got the number 8 pick in that draft. They got the number 17 pick in that draft. They got the 35th overall pick in that draft, which is a second round pick. And they also got a protected 2020 first round pick. So in order to move up 4 spots, the Hawks, they had to give up a lot. Solomon Hill was a pretty decent player, helped them out some this year. But, they had to give up 8, 17, and 35. Now, there's another trade in the same draft. This time it was between the Timberwolves and the Phoenix Suns. So the Timberwolves moved up from 11 to 6 in order to select Jarrett Culver. And in the trade, they had to give up the rights to, or the 11th pick, and also Dario Saric. So in this trade, they had to give up pretty much a starting power forward level player and their pick to move up 5 spots. So just, if you're looking at these trades, you're probably going to say the Knicks shouldn't make a deal at all, because the Suns didn't really get much value out of Marquise Chris. The Hawks, yeah, I said DeAndre Hunter played pretty decent in the series against us, but he's been injury prone. In this series right now against the 76ers, he's actually injured. He missed the first game. And then if you look at the Timberwolves, Jarrett Culver, he pretty much hasn't done much for the Timberwolves, honestly. You know, I have him on Fantasy League. I have actually him and Cam Johnson on Fantasy League. And Culver has done a bunch of nothing. He's been injured. And if you were to step back and look at all these 3 trades, you're going to say the team that moved up really didn't get much benefit from the deal. And actually, I think the team that probably benefited the most out of these trades is probably the Kings, because they got a steal with the draft rights to Bogdan. It's just unfortunate they were unable to retain his services. And he moved over to the Hawks and paired up with DeAndre Hunter and Trae Young to get us up out of there. But you know, you guys let me know. Do you think the Knicks should move up and package some assortment of picks to try to get into a top 10 or into the top 10? Because I think that's what's going to make the most sense. I don't see them packaging 19 and 32 or 19 and 21 to move up to maybe 15 or 14. If they're going to package picks, we have the assortment of picks. Let's move up into the top 10 and let's get somebody that we know is going to be a bona fide stud for years to come. Let's get that wing to pair with RJ and to pair with potentially Lonzo Ball in free agency at the point guard position. I think that would be a good way to start. And I think that the fact that we can even have these discussions because we have so many picks available is just a great spot to be in. So once again, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Do you think the Knicks should be looking to move up into a top 10 pick? And if they are going to move up into a top 10 pick, who would you think the Knicks should select? Or do you think we should, stand pat, draft somebody at 19, draft somebody at 21, and maybe we can flip those second rounders into second rounders in the following year? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. Once again, I'm Keith, host of Sports Vibes TV, and I'm out.